Hi, this is Sally, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a raspberry and macadamia cake. This is one of our favourites actually. I'm preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 180 Celsius or gas mark 4. In the bowl I have 175 grams or 6 ounces of unsalted butter. I am putting in 110 grams of white sugar. Now in the UK it's called caster sugar, and in the US it is called granulated sugar. Caster sugar and granulated in England are two different grades. So caster sugar is just like granulated over here, and granulated in the UK is a coarser sugar than this. I'm also putting 50 grams or 2 ounces of light brown sugar in. And I'm going to whisk these for about 5 minutes so they're nice and fluffy. The butter should be at room temperature. This is just after about a minute, and it's slowly lightening up as it's being whisked together. This is now mixed. It stays on the base of the bowl when it's mixed properly. I am going to add 2 eggs. Now I'm only going to add one at a time, or about one at a time. So let's do this. There's one. Now I don't just start it off, I start mixing it like this first to break it up. You could already pre-mix your eggs, that's fine too. And you can see it's scraping away from the bottom. Just make sure it's all incorporated before you add the second one. A good way to tell if the first egg has been incorporated is the way the mixture sticks to the base of the bowl. I'm going to add in the second egg, as well as 1/8. I'm going to do it over here, so if it splashes a little bit it's not too bad, but 1/8 of a teaspoon of almond extract. You really don't want too much, it's quite a strong taste. And now I'm going to mix the second egg in. Again, I'm just going to move it around. You see, as you put the egg in, it just separates everything. Once everything's incorporated, I am going to add 150 grams of flour. Now I'm going to do it in 3 parts. It should be self-raising flour, but I don't actually have self-raising flour. I buy all-purpose flour. And I'm going to mix this in carefully until it's all incorporated. Now with my last third of flour, all-purpose flour in this case, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking soda so that there is a raising agent in there. If you were to use self-raising flour, you don't need to put the baking powder in, so just remember that. Here I've got macadamias. I whisked them in the food processor, and I have some which is quite lumpy still and some which is fine, and that's how I prefer to have the nuts in here. I like to have a little bit of resistance but not too much. I also have 2 tablespoons of milk, which I'm also going to add. Something to note with macadamia nuts is that the longer you whisk them, the more oil comes out of them. So, as I say, it's really up to you if you make it a fine flour or if you want to have lumps in. Either works. I'm going to fold this in until it's all incorporated. You don't want the macadamias to be all crunched together. You want them to be spread throughout the mixture. Nothing worse, I should imagine, than finding a patch of really dry macadamia nuts when you're eating your cake. So just really mix that around. Cut it through like this and just make sure that all of it is spread through. Something else you can do when you take the nuts out of the processor is just to break them up as you put them into your bowl. That looks like it's done. And here I washed these a while ago, so that's why they're in here drying out. It's 200 grams of raspberries, which is 7 ounces. I'm just going to pour those in like that and mix those through as well. You could put flour on them to stop them falling to the bottom of the cake, but every time I've made this cake, that hasn't happened. They've stayed pretty much suspended in the mixture, and I assume that's because of the macadamia nuts. They just kind of hold everything in place. Just do that, so break them up a little bit. Now I've already prepared 3 small loaf tins. This will make a 2-pound loaf tin, which I believe is 900 grams, and I wanted to show you how the cake differs, so I'm going to put one in here without the white chocolate in so you can have a look, and then the other 2 I will put the white chocolate in. Just spread it out. I think that's about a third in there. Now usually Normally I put 110 grams in of white chocolate. Now, white chocolate is not all the same. When I choose a white chocolate, I always make sure that I have cocoa butter in it. If you look on the backs of these packets, you'll find that they've got chemicals. Vanilla is always in them, or always seems to be in them, but some do not have cocoa butter, and that is, to my mind, the thing that makes white chocolate. So I'm just going to mix this in, and I'll put the other 2 cakes out with that mixed in. And the oven should be really well heated. You should always preheat your oven and have it heated for quite some time. It makes the heat inside better dispersed than if you switch it on and then put your cake in quite quickly. Now the last thing to add is actually some brown sugar, and you just drizzle that over the top. It's about a tablespoon, which would do the whole, but I'm spreading it out between these little ones. It just gives a little bit of decoration on the top. I think that's about even. Now I'm going to put these in the oven for 40 minutes and test them because they're only small. I've just removed these from the oven. I had them baking in the center of the oven, so they should be nicely cooked. I'm going to let them cool down a little bit. They actually did take 45 minutes to cook. I was surprised. I thought they might take a bit less, but it was really to get the color to look nice on top. They should shrink up just enough so that I can just pop them out without leaving any cake behind. Thank you for joining me today. I hope I've been able to impart some useful information to you on baking these cakes. I'm actually going to open these and I'll tell you what it's like. I'm going to take a big bite out of this one, which is one with the white chocolate in, and a little bite out of this one, which is without. It's still baking hot, by the way. You can taste the almond extract in there. Oh, it's lovely. And then this one, the thing is with the white chocolate, it tends to make the cake a little bit denser. This is lovely. I know which one my son's going to enjoy. The one with white chocolate. The cake with the white chocolate is slightly more intense with flavour because you've got the vanilla and the white chocolate. But they're both gorgeous. They're both really nice. So if you'd like to hear more from me, please subscribe and hit the bell button. And a few thumbs up would be absolutely excellent. And in the meantime, take care. See you later. Ciao.